This is Buddy Buchanan with the Leader in Times, and today we will be bringing you a Liberal City Commission candidate profile. There are 13 candidates running for City Commission, and with the primary coming soon, the Leader in Times would like to give the public a chance to hear each candidate's campaign, concentrations, and changes. Today's profile is that of Dave Harrison. Here is his interview.
What got you interested in running for City Commission again for this year?
Well, main thing is finishing up what we have started, the projects that we have going now, and projects that we're getting ready to kick off later on this summer.
Right then. So I guess then, what was the final thing that made you think, yes, I want to run again? Like, what was the major thing that prompted the decision?
The straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, was city staff. Several department heads asked me to consider running again. I had kind of made up my mind maybe to step down, but they persuaded me. And I just feel like that I owed it to them after all the stuff they've done for me over the years, and actually, they want to continue on the path that we're going on, the improvements that we're doing. They're afraid if we change now that some of that will get lost. We've seen it happen before, so continuity is a big thing, I think, in any business or organization. Every time you change, it creates upheaval. Sometimes that's good. It depends. If somebody can come in and take a deep breath and learn what's actually taking place instead of just taking bits and pieces of what they've heard and thinking that's how things operate. I think that's one thing, finding out that there's always two sides to a story.
Of course.
And usually the one that gets the most is the one that sounds the most negative. And that's very troubling to an organization like the City of Liberal, because sometimes you can't respond. It just creates more problems the more you try to explain it. It's like the people that refuse to believe won't believe it. You can show it in black and white and they still refuse to believe it. So, but having said that, I mean, part of the job is learning to work with people and trying to get everybody on the same page, and that's something I kind of enjoy doing. But I like for it to be a 50-50 deal where it's give and take. You know, it can't. That's usually the people that get upset most with the city are the ones that have an idea and they didn't get their way for whatever reason. But normally, if people have a suggestion or an idea, and it's something that we can figure out how to work with them with, hey, it's no problem. And done it many times. And really, that's some of the best things that we've had happen is when people come with ideas and we sit down and discuss it and learn to move forward and grow. A prime example is a guy contacted me about 3 weeks ago about a dog park, and we've had conversations about that a couple of times, and it's always been on the radar screen, and probably we would be further along with it now than what we are, other than the ice storm that we had that lasted for a month and a half to clean up anyway, and it diverted our guys from what they normally need to be doing. And our main project was to have the soccer fields up and running. Of course, we're about a month and a half behind on them, but that's going to happen. So, and the dog park, I think, it's not going to happen this year, but there's probably a good chance by next year we'll have a plan for it and move forward. We've already visited with Garden City some. They've got some experience with it, so we're hoping that we get some good information from them and maybe some others and come up with some local ideas. The guy that contacted me, he had some suggestions on how to do it, and also suggested that there might be some funding available from donor to help us with that. So that's exciting too.
But for right now, it's something that's still being it's not something that's been officially decided, but it is something that's on your guys' radar, which that's really cool.
Absolutely, and I think that's something that I've been working on this for about 10 years on the city commission, and what Mark Hall came on as city manager about the same time I got on the city commission. Joe Seeley was here. Daniel Zuniga is here. Frank Holman was a sanitation guy, still here. Wally with the water department, he's seen a couple of different bosses there, but Wally's always been here, and he's retiring this year.
Right,
but I mean, all of that's all continuity, and they all came together when I first got on in a planning session, and laid out a strategic plan for the next 10 years. And we've accomplished almost everything that we set out to do. And now it's time to go back and sit down with the community members and get the ideas again. Focus on the future is a great source of ideas. A lot of the things that you see happening came from suggestions of focus on the future. The one thing that we all really want real bad is a rec center, and we've tried a couple of different times and just haven't came up with the right plan. There's some talk now about maybe South Junior High, and there may be a possibility there that's something that the city and the
school district
can get worked out and turn into a plus for our community. So
awesome.
It's just a matter of getting together and working it out.
Awesome. So besides those couple of ideas with the dog park and the rec center, what are some other things you would like to see continue if you get elected to the city commission again?
Just the continued growth with retail. I'd love to get some industry in here. That's the toughest thing that we have. And part of the reason is the lack of workforce. There's just not much unemployment here, so getting somebody that requires a lot of people to operate it, it's kind of hard to make this an attractive place for them. We have had a couple of years ago, it's kind of amazing, we had a guy from Wichita come out and talk about building, I think it was a 300-unit apartment complex, and specifically tailored to someone like National Beef or Seaboard Farms. And he put on a pretty good pitch to us that was going to happen, and he was going to do it without any incentives or anything from anybody. That wasn't the way he does things, and we worked pretty aggressively with him for, I'm going to say, almost a year, and in fact, we even offered some incentives to him to try and get him to do it, and all of a sudden, he just kind of disappeared. So and we never were really sure what took place there.
Right.
And the economy kind of changed in there some too, and that might have had something to do with what happened. But we're always looking for opportunities like that where we can, if there's something that we can do to help on something like that, that's what we want to do.
Right.
That's what we're about.
Right then. So with this year's city commission candidate pool being so big and having so many people in it, what are some of your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is there's an opportunity for some good ideas to come out of that. When you get that many people and if you can get some community involvement. Sometimes a lot of candidates doesn't necessarily mean you got a lot of community involvement, but if you do, and even just the 13 candidates, there may be some good ideas come out of the forums, the discussions, the campaigns, that no matter who is elected, maybe some good can come out of that continues to move the city forward.
Right then. So what would you say excites you about all of the development work going on in the north part of town? Because that's already seeing a lot. So what do you like most about all that's going on in that area?
Well, the main thing I like is that's primarily local guys that have put put that thing together, and that's what we always have needed is local people to step up and make something happen, and that group of people, and most of them are very local, decided that they were going to do it, and they've asked for a little help on a thing or two, and we've been able to help them out. One thing that we have taken advantage of that a lot of people don't realize is we have a financial advisor, John Haas, out of Wichita. He's worked with the college for years, and he's worked with us for about 10 years. And then we also have a bond counsel, Gilmore and Bell, and they advise us on these things and tell us what we can do and what we can do. Our goal is always to do the most we can without putting the citizens of Liberal at risk for any development. So by utilizing those guys and getting all the contracts right and everything, we don't ever put the citizens here in jeopardy of those guys' projects. And it's tight enough that they get enough skin in the game, they're not too likely to walk away.
Right.
And that's happened in other communities. I mean, we've seen other communities build streets and put in sewers and hoping somebody would build a house, and they didn't build any houses. And then the taxpayers are stuck with that infrastructure that's undeveloped. So Abilene, Kansas had a terrible deal. I think it was Abilene built 60 a deal for 60 houses, and they never built a house.
Right. Right then. So with this year's election, then, what would you say you're looking forward to about the overall campaign and everything?
The discovery of new ideas. To me, that's the exciting thing about any part of this is whether it comes from a young guy or an older guy, or man or woman, doesn't make any difference. I mean, nearly every campaign I've ever been through, there's been some ideas that came out of it that the city took and may have tweaked it some, but tried to expand on it and make it work. So I guess that, if anything's exciting, that's probably what it is.
Right then. Awesome. Well, just last thing I have, is there anything else you would want to add, or anything else you think would be relevant to put?
Oh, there probably is, if I think for a minute. The main thing is just for people to get out and vote. It's your chance to have your say, and whether you decide you want to do something completely different than what we've been doing, that's your choice, and that's the choice you get to make. A lot of people have commented about the growth we've had and all the new things that are happening here, and I hope they'll take time to understand all the things that are yet to come before this year is up, and the improvements that are going to be made, and take that into consideration as well, and understand that sometimes when you change, all those ideas change too.
Right.
So I guess that's about it.
Be sure to check back here for the other 12 City Commission candidate profiles when they arrive. This is Buddy Buchanan with the Leader in Time. God bless, and thanks for watching.